Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Precision Machinery's Tech Tips. I'm Josh.
And I'm Travis.
Travis is our most experienced field service technician. In addition to that, he actually manages our service department. And what we wanted to talk to you today about was how to check if your guide mill, or guide plane, guide dresser, whatever you call it, how to check if it is machining your guides accurately. These procedures are good for any piece of equipment you have, doesn't just have to be one of ours. Anyhow, let's take a look. All right, so Travis has got a guide loaded on our machine here. He's going to run a cycle and see how accurately this thing's cutting. Keep in mind, we've already done a couple things. We made sure that everything's clean on the mounting surface, and we've made sure that we've got a high quality, accurate guide. A high quality, accurate guide.
Like the ones we make?
Oh yeah, now that you mention it, like the ones we make. Something to note here, we are checking how accurate our guide dresser is processing these guides. We're not checking if the guide itself was manufactured accurately. We did that in a previous tech tip, and you can review that if you want to know how we inspect a guide. So the granite's been cleaned, this guide has been machined. The surface that's mounted on the granite here is the same surface that was mounted on the faceplate of our guide dresser, and that's important because we don't want to allow any added in tolerance from this clamp or heel surface here. First thing we're going to do, we're going to check to see if this machined surface is flat and parallel relative to this mounting surface here.
Okay, so I got my dial indicator mounted to a mag block. The granite is clean. Make sure my dial indicator is zeroed, and now we're going to go around and check the run out of the guide. Still zero. Zero there. And that looks great within a few tenths.
So Travis dialed the guide, it's flat, it's parallel, looks really good, it's within a half a thou. Now he's going to check and see what the thickness variation is using a micrometer. All right, so the guide's been checked to make sure that these surfaces are flat and parallel and within our designated thickness. Again, note that this surface of the guide was mounted against the faceplate on our guide dresser, and we put it on the surface of our granite and dialed this pad with the indicator. We then measured the thickness of this pad in multiple spots around the outside. Those are the only two numbers we need to make sure that the machine is cutting square and parallel. The only thing left that we need to find out is whether it's cutting on center. Travis is going to check that right now. So he's got this handy little tool we've built here. You can also do this by checking a spot on the granite. Now you'll note that when Travis puts this on, he's going to zero his dial, and he's going to check the same spot on the other side of the guide. And he's just checking to make sure that this surface and this surface are the same distance apart on both sides of the guide. And he's within half a thousandth. Thanks a lot for your help here today, Travis.
You're welcome, Josh.
So we know our machine is processing this guide accurately because our pads are flat, they're parallel, they're on size, and they're on center on this guide. Now for this test, we used what we call a center guide, which is Babbitt pads on both sides. If you have end guides that are a different shape and only have the pad on one side, the nicest way to check that is using a test jig. Basically, you're going to clamp your guides together on the bench, take a piece of saw plate, slide it in there and see how it feels. That's the nicest way to do that. I'm Josh. This has been Precision Machinery's Tech Tips. Remember, if you want precision results, you've got to have precision machinery.